Cryptography, we talked about encryption before, but the mechanisms that are used for encryption, these different protocols, it's good to understand them for application security. The TLS or transport layer security, as well as SSL, can work to encrypt our data in transit. It's not typically used for data at rest, usually for data in transit. We can use VPNs such as IPsec to encrypt our traffic between different applications, or between, within our clouds, or between clouds, or our cloud and our network perimeter, for example. If you look in Azure in the labs, you probably saw that there were tools in Azure for you to create a VPN. And you could create a VPN, for example, with your home network, for example, if you wanted to. So you can certainly create VPNs and use VPNs for encryption, although it's not as scalable as things like TLS and SSL, but it's certainly an option. Whole instance encryption, where we can encrypt an application instance. For example, I talked about Docker earlier, and you can encrypt those Docker containers, for example, and then volume encryption for data at rest, which we talked about earlier, and then just individual file or directory encryption. And I left it off this slide, but also encrypting objects. So you can encrypt objects before they're stored when you're using object storage, which we've discussed in previous units. And some other stuff that we could use is tokenization and data masking. So just as a review from previous units, we talked about how tokenization and data masking are basically obfuscating data that's in the cloud, either with fake data or with data that is a placeholder for something that we can reference within our protected infrastructure.